So a lot of people are talking about the Game Awards, right? Because the Game Awards is about to announce at the time of this filming of this video, I think it's a day away from announcing the nominations between a multitude of different categories like they always do. The Game Awards is a hot topic because the Game Awards is a culmination of the journalist's idea of what the gaming industry should be for the year, right? We've seen them snub so many video games that should obviously be Game of the Year, and they'll snub it just because the game doesn't fit their agenda or their ideology. We have experienced this with Hogwarts Legacy probably being by far the biggest one recently out of everything. Now, we have another example of what happens when things go too far, and that is Geoff Keighley apparently is trying to now trademark the Game Awards, which might cause issues for Stuttering Craig's The Real Game Awards show that he's trying to put together.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I had this conversation on multiple live streams, and I had this conversation on Saturday Night Hypnosis recently, and the reason why I'm bringing it up again is, quite frankly, we should talk about it, and I do want to get it out in video format because my videos tend to get a much larger reach than my live streams. Ultimately, Geoff Keighley trying to do this is just a panic response, in my opinion, okay? It is Geoff Keighley trying to do one of two things. Number one, he is trying to panic respond to the Real Game Awards, in my opinion. As crazy as it may sound, you cannot underhand the reach that the Real Game Awards may potentially have over time. The Game Awards didn't start out as a banger show. No show starts out at a banger show. Everything tends to grow over time as more and more people find it and more people experience it over the years and whatnot. But I do want to say that it seems like a panic decision because they know the growth that not only Side Scrollers has, but gaming YouTubers in general have been having over the last 6 months by themselves, right? And they are people who have singular platforms. They are people who are not relying on the industry at all. And they are simply people in their own homes making videos and trouncing the people who have corporations behind them. It is a big decision that Geoff Keighley's trying to do that I feel like is a panic response to the Real Game Awards. And also, it seems like it's a way to simply try to cut out all competition in general if there's any way for him to do so. So let's get to this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, again, the headline says that Geoff Keighley's trying to trademark the Game Awards. This move could cripple independent creators and smaller outlets that run their own video game awards, like Stuttering Craig of Side Scrollers and his upcoming The Real Game Awards show. Keighley started the Game Awards in 2014. At the time, the event celebrated gamers and the games that they loved. In the decades since, it has grown into a corporate outlet for a very bloated games industry, often pushing agendas and towing shill corporate lines in an attempt to net exclusive trailers and announcements from huge studios. The Game Awards winners are decided by a jury of industry experts, which consists of game journalists from establishment access media like IGN, Polygon, Variety, and PC Gamer, along with a public vote. Now, again, guys, 10% of the votes come from gamers. 90% of the votes come from the establishment. Does that sound fair to you? Does that sound like something that represents you as a gamer? Can you imagine you being at home, the person who loves Black Myth Wukong, the person who loves Space Marine 2, and you're sitting there after playing these amazing games, and then you got to go watch a Game Awards show that 90% of the vote is controlled by people who hate you? Can you sit there and truly believe and think to yourself, wow, this is going to be a great representation of what I view as gaming? Can you really think that? No, of course not. I don't think anybody watching this video can sit there and say, gee, IGN represents me perfectly. Polygon represents me perfectly. PC Gamer, you know what I mean? Nobody at Variety, nobody out there is thinking that at all. However, the public vote only counts again for 10% of the results, while the media jury gets 90% of the votes. That is a huge problem, and it's like this video thumbnail says, conflict of interest. It is a massive conflict of interest because what that does, it creates a massive circle jerk. It shows that all they're trying to do is maintain media access and maintain industry dominance. That's all they're trying to do. The industry relies on the mainstream media in order to push a certain message out there to gamers to try to convince as many people as humanly possible to buy that particular video game, even if they know the game is going to be shit. This is why the access media, what they do is they say, okay, well, we're going to give you XYZ amount of praise, but in return, we want XYZ. That could be free games, free swag, free exclusive interviews, whatever. This is a relationship that has been going on for a long time, well before Gamergate 1.0. Gamergate 1.0 really exposed this certain kind of relationship, and then Gamergate 2.0 has taken that much further. But still, overall, this relationship has been around forever and continues to be around. And it's not even just the gaming industry that has this kind of relationship. Access Media is a big conflict of interest, and this shit needs to stop, and it needs to end. And this is where YouTube comes into place, right? So YouTubers have been growing at an exponential rate, especially over the last 6 months to a year, especially in the gaming industry. They've been growing at an exponential rate, and their voices are going out there so much faster than the mainstream industry can even hope to try to calm down. So what this is, in my opinion, is a panic response to that, right? I genuinely believe that Keighley thinks to himself, right? He thinks to himself, gee, you know, we kind of slept on the fact that we couldn't stop the YouTubers from growing when we could. They had an opportunity. They didn't take it. They thought they can go the route of just ignoring us, right? What did they say? They try to call us small fridge group of gamers or something like that. They thought they can go that route. That didn't work. And then now we're here where we are 10 times bigger than they'll ever be, right? How sad is that? We are 10 times bigger than these mainstream media establishments can ever hope to be. All the clicks that they get in the world doesn't even come close to most of the average size YouTubers who are in the gaming industry, let alone the bigger ones, right? It's impossible. They cannot calm the storm. So now what they're trying to do is get ahead of it by doing this trademark in the hopes that, gee, maybe we could try to calm down the competition before it gets too out of control like the YouTubers did. And again, this is all in my opinion. So following a video by Moriarty on the Really Cool YouTube channel back in December 23 that exposed the voting jury, the Game Awards deleted its jury page. Now, this is hilarious to me because if you guys, you mean to tell me that 90% of the vote that's controlled by the Access Media, and I can't even see who's on that Access Media, I don't even get that option to see it? That's insane to me. That shows me that you have something to hide. If you're going to hide 90% of the people who's voting, what the fuck is the point of the show? And this is why the show keeps going down and down and down every single year. Even if people hate watch it, it's still not performing nowhere near as what it used to be. So they very clearly have something to hide by hiding the jury, and then they very clearly have an agenda that they're trying to see through by trying to trademark Game Awards or the Game Awards or whatever they're trying to trademark. This shows that Geoff Keighley is absolutely trying to make final panic decisions to try to get ahead of what he feels like is ultimately going to be a competition storm that is coming his way. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.